All right, y'all. Greetings, everybody. Y'all know who it is. It's y'all favorite dark-skinned chick in the whole wide world, Rashida Strober, the world's very first dark-skinned activist. All right, y'all. Hold on. Let me pause that because I can hear myself talking. Y'all favorite dark-skinned chick in the whole wide world. I always pull up the live so that I could go to the chat box there. But y'all know who it is. It's y'all favorite dark-skinned chick in the whole wide world, Rashida Strober, the world's first dark-skinned activist. Rashida Strober, the inventor of dark-skinned activism. That's right, created it back in 1998. And you know, something that's just really just, y'all know a lot of things bother me, and I come on here and I talk about it. I'm sitting here retightening my daughter's sister locks right now. That's what I'm doing. So that's why y'all see me looking down right here. It's because Lauren is sitting right here and I'm actually retightening her sister locks. You know, I just had like a little thing that recently happened that just like really pissed me off, that actually it did trigger this, and it's just made me go back to thinking about in my when I was in middle school, and when I was in elementary school, but really when I was in middle school. You know, people don't think that when you're dark skinned, they don't think you're supposed to have long hair. They don't think you're supposed to look cute. And this is something that, and you know, long hair is something that's synonymous with being cute. You know what I'm saying? I'm adjusting the lights here, y'all, because I'm doing her sister locks, and it's very intricate, and it's kind of hard for me to see. And that's something that, you know, with my daughter, I knew that she was gonna having long hair was gonna be important to her, because anybody that says that long hair is not important to a black girl, they're lying. They're lying. They're lying. And when I was growing up, yeah, when I was growing up, my mother, she was not like a natural hair fan. So what she did, she straightened my hair, y'all. And yeah, see, I got to start talking about the other side of the coin now. When I was going to school, I got a lot of hate, and people wanting to fight me. And it had a lot to do with the fact that I was skinny and dark skinned, and I wasn't supposed to have long hair. Because what my mama would do, she would take me to this lady, God bless her. And my mama did not have, like, after I guess it got to be too much for her or whatever. She would take me to this lady, and she permed my hair, and the lady, God bless her, because she did my hair free a lot of the times, because she knew and understood that my self-esteem as a young black girl had a lot to do with how my hair looked. That's just what it is. People could deny that all day, but I'm honest about mine. I'm not going to sit up here and be lying to people and making stuff up and denying stuff. I don't do that. I don't have time for that. But anyway, what she would do is she started to do my hair for free, and I would have to do stuff like clean up the shop and sweep the shop up and that kind of thing. And I ain't had no problem, because I'm a hardworking person. I've always worked. I've been working literally since the age of 14, and I think even before that. Like, I don't got no problem with working for whatever I get. Like, I'm a very hard worker, so it was a joyous thing to me to go to this lady's shop and work. And I remember going to school, like, these so-called friends of mine, they see as my hair started growing longer, it was permed, and they would, all the hate, you know what I'm saying? And then I noticed that some of the phony ones, yeah, they start this mess all the way in middle school, y'all. A lot of this darkism stuff that I talk about, it starts in middle school. Yes. And then it reaches all the way up to high school and beyond. We know this. And the hair got a lot to do with it. The hair got, because they felt like because I was dark skinned and skinny that I wasn't supposed to have long hair flowing down my back. That's how they felt. So a lot of them didn't like me for that. They wanted to fight. A lot of these females, that's what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm gonna get on them now. I'm gonna get on them today. But somebody, I gotta get on a family member of mine too. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm going to the chat box, just trying to check in. Hey, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah. So I gotta get on them too, because a lot of them, y'all, this leads to a lot of it leads to a lot of fights. It leads to a lot of problems in my life. My hair, and me being dark skinned, and the fact that I just was not. I remember this one girl, y'all. Oh my God, y'all. I remember this one girl. She was a non-dark skinned black girl, And, you know, she had been watching me for a while, because the way I was when I was in school, I was the type of person, I minded my business. I was not there to join up with cliques, and I was not there. And I'm gonna speak on this. This might be a long one today, y'all. It might be. We'll see. I was not the type of person. I was not the type of dark skin. I wasn't dark skinned and wretched. Let me put it like that. When I was in middle school, and for those of you that are just tuning in, like I just wanted to say, a lot of this is the sister lock tool, by the way, that I'm using. A lot of darkism that I speak on, it starts in middle school. Yeah, they know. It starts in middle school, and then it moves up to high school and beyond. So for me, a lot of it started in middle school, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that people thought that because I was dark skinned, that I was not allowed to have long, flowy hair that was my own, and wouldn't walk around here with a bunch of weave. I didn't know. That's not what it was. My mother, like I was saying before, my mother used to straighten my natural hair, and it was very long. And when she got to the point where she didn't want to be bothered with going through all that, she took me to the salon, the beauty salon. And when I would just notice how some of these females would treat me when I had my hair, you know, in a more natural state, like in a ponytail, loose natural, versus when I had just got a fresh perm, and it was all long and flowy hanging down my back. And I realized, you know, developing darkism, speaking on dark skin activism later on, that a lot of this had to do with my worldview and outlook in regards to darkism, because they felt like I was too dark and was not entitled or allowed to have my own natural hair. I was supposed to be walking around here bald headed. I was supposed to be walking around here. Hold on one second. Lauren, that was stuck together right there. Sorry, boo. Hope that doesn't hurt. I'm retightening Lauren's sister locks. They felt that I was supposed to be walking around here bald headed. They felt like I was supposed to be walking around here looking any kind of way. You know, all the stereotypes that are associated when you're dark skinned. They felt, you know, so when I came to school, a lot of these females that, you know, were supposed to be my friend, they weren't really my friend. They was not my friend, because like I said, and I want to reiterate, a lot of them felt that I was not entitled because I was dark skinned and I was skinny, and I was a quiet person. I wasn't out there to be loud and wretched and start fights with each other, with other people, and engage in stupid, ignorant things. And I was focused on doing well academically and focused on the performing arts. They felt that I was not entitled to have to be dark skinned with long hair. They felt that. So a lot of these females, they contributed to darkism. That's a part of darkism. Anybody that feels like a dark-skinned woman or girl is not entitled to have long hair that's her own, that's darkism. That's darkism. Yeah, that's darkism. And I want to make that clear, because that's something that caused a lot of problems for me. So let me tell you about the non-dark-skinned girl that, you know, while I never really engaged with these people like that, like in terms of running behind them and trying to be their friend. I wasn't about that. But a lot of them used to watch me. They would watch me and pay. I guess when you're quiet and you don't say anything, people, they tend to want to know what you are about. You understand what I'm saying? They want to know what you're about, right? So they used to watch me. They used to watch me, y'all. Yeah. And so I remember this one girl, she approached me. She was all, and I just, when I think back on this, it's just like, I'm trying to just understand, how could you be so manipulative in middle school? You know, you still growing and you so manipulative. And she just walked up to me with this little sneaky smile on her face. I'll never forget it. This little smile, you know, a snake. That's what she was, a snake. She walked up to me, and we was in the 6th grade. This was the 6th grade, y'all. I will never forget it. She walked up to me and said, "Rashida, I want you to be my cousin. I want you to be my cousin." And I just remember looking at her like, you know how when somebody hits you with some kind of off the wall stuff, and you just be like, I'm just looking at her. It's someone that's actually related to you, but I just remember looking at this chick like, what is she talking about? And it was like totally like, it was no hot, and she just walked up to me and put her arms around me. That's another thing she did. So I was like, what? Maybe it got to do with the fact that I don't have no sisters, y'all. But this girl just walked up to me in the hallway, the 6th grade hallway. No, I think we was by the P room. She walks up to me and starts hugging me, talking about, I want you to be my cousin. And I'm looking at her like, what in the world is wrong with this girl? That's what I was thinking. So I'm just like, I just like kind of looked at her and kind of brushed her off. Like, I wasn't interested in doing that. Like, I wasn't interested because I had kind of noticed this chick. I kind of noticed her, but I didn't like, you can put it right. You keep it right there, Lauren. I had noticed this woman or this chick. She wasn't a woman at the time. We were all in the 6th grade, but I had not paid attention. And I had noticed that she was of the wretched type. I had noticed that she was loud and belligerent. That's why I say I don't understand why people are always trying to associate dark-skinned females with wretchedness, because I've seen the opposite in my experience starting in middle school. So I had noticed, you know, that she was of the wretched type and she had a lot of girls around her and she was like the ringleader. And boo-boo, you don't, my mama always taught me, you don't follow nobody. No, we don't do that over here. Now, I am not opposed to following someone that is doing the right thing, that is actually engaged in something productive. I am not opposed to that. Don't get it twisted, y'all. But my mother, she did instill in me to be a leader and not a follower. And that was reflected even when I was in middle school. So I noticed that this chick was, and mind you, like I said, she was a non-dark black girl. A non-dark black girl. That's what she was. You get mad all you want to. You can watch, people watch this video, people hate on the truth. That's another thing. People don't like it when you tell the truth, but this is my experience. And I'm gonna speak on my experience. I'm gonna speak. I'm not gonna allow people to come up on here and just because they're upset about the truth, just because they're upset that I'm exposing my truth, that I'm exposing darkism, you're not gonna stop me from speaking on it. You're not gonna stop me on speaking the truth. Hold on, Lauren, you gotta sit. Yeah, you can, but you gotta sit down because we're still working on your hair. So yeah, first of all, let me just get that clear, because I've had a couple of people coming up on my Facebook, you know, over the past couple of days because they're mad about the truth. That's the thing. People get angry when someone is speaking the truth and they know that they're part of the problem, and they can look back at what that person is saying and they know that they have possibly, then they get angry with you. But you're not gonna, this is the Rashida Strober story, a dark-skinned girl's triumph. You're not gonna stop me from speaking my truth. So like I said, finished telling you about this girl in middle school, in 6th grade, where darkism started. A lot of the darkism that I have encountered throughout my life started. This girl, you know, she wanted to be, like I said, she wanted me and her to be cousins. Walked up on me, hugged me, put up through. I was like, well, I'm looking like, what is going on here? And like I said, I had observed the wretchedness that she was engaged in. I had observed that she had a following of ignorant girls following behind her BS, and that they were loud and belligerent and ignorant, you know, of that ilk. And I had already made up in my little 6th grade mind that, so that's what I'm saying. Young ladies out there, you do not have to be a part of the wretchedness. You do not, okay? I had observed this young lady and I said, you know, I had made up in my mind already, I'm not gonna deal with her. I had observed the weave and, you know, that they were wearing and all this stuff that they were wearing that I thought was gonna make them look cute. You know, I had my long, natural permed hair, but it was mine. And I had observed that, and they were observing me, and they wanted me to become, she was the ringleader, but she didn't know that Rashida don't follow up behind foolishness. She didn't know that. She did not, she did not know that Rashida, the future world's first dark-skinned activist, the future inventor of dark-skinned activism, was not about to follow up behind her foolishness, boo-boo. And that was a problem. That was a problem for her. That was a problem for her, y'all. That was a problem for her. And I'm gonna tell y'all, This after I had, you know, and I wasn't rude to her. I don't need to be rude to people. Why do I need to do that? If I don't want to do something, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to follow you in your foolishness. Like I said, I had a mother. Oh my goodness, my mama did not play. I will say, like, I'm scared of my mama to this day. Like, for real, she didn't play. She didn't play no foolishness, and she instilled in me, you know, at a young age, you be a leader and not a follower. And that kicked in when I seen that foolishness that was going on with her, with all these girls that she had following behind her. You know, they would start in fights with each other. They were skipping classes. You know, they would pick on people in the lunchroom. And she was like the ringleader. She was the ringleader. Terrible. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna say her name because she did eventually. And see, I knew I made a good decision because people like to put all these stereotypes off on dark skin. But this heifer here, and I still don't like her to this day. I don't like her. I don't like her. If I saw her, I would not speak to her. I would. I mean, you're not worthy of me because, you know, you're wretched. You started fights with a lot of people. You were a thief. She wound up going to prison. Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm happy about any of this because it's not my fault. She was engaged in wretched behavior. And when you're engaged in wretched behavior like that, when you start at a young age and then you're trying to recruit, she tried to recruit me into her foolishness. She tried to recruit. And then when I would not become a part of it and I was nice about it, oh, that didn't sit well with her. Oh, y'all, let me tell you. And then, like I said, the jealousy, y'all, the jealousy and the envy about my dark skin and my long hair, because again, anybody that knows me when I was dating, they know. I have pictures. My mother kept pictures of me, and because my mom, she liked straight hair. My mom, she wore wigs and all that kind of stuff, so she was not a fan of natural hair, right? Hey, Britt. Britt, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You say, hi, Rashida, how are you? Much love from the Netherlands. Hey, I gotta just speak to everybody real quick. Dorothy, Black Power 187 TV, saving me. Mr. Dome, I'm saying Mr. Dome because I do not want to mess up your name. I want to just say hey to everybody. Red Base 707. Shout out to everybody. Healthcare. Shout out to you. Shout out to Avery. I noticed that she was on here saving me. Shout out to everybody. And I also want to encourage you guys, if you haven't purchased the book already, hold on one second. If you haven't purchased the book already, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Go get A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge and get Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Hold on, turn around, Lauren. What you could do, if you want to get the book, all you have to do, folks, is go to my website. I'm gonna post the link here. Give me 1 second. Like I'm a multitasker. I don't always like being a multitasker, because it comes with a lot of work. But the books are $25 each, and the money goes towards the Dark Skin Activist Tour that I am currently on. So it's a paperback book. If you want to contribute to that, I'm gonna put up the link. Give me 1 second here. I'm just pulling up the link that you go to get the book. You can get A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, and you can also get a Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph. Autographed copies, not A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph. I'm sorry, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Yes, Lauren. Oh, thank you. So I'm gonna put the link right there, y'all. I'm asking you guys, go support the campaign. There's the link right there. Click that link. Get the book. Support. And shout out to everybody that's already purchased the book. I'm getting like some excellent feedback from people from the book. So shout out to everybody. I'm just posting the link right there by itself. All right. So yeah, y'all. I mean, this woman here, she just thought that, well, she was a girl at the time, not woman, but she just thought that I was gonna follow up in all her foolishness and be running around school, you know, skipping class and fighting people. And they didn't like the fact, her and her clique over time, they didn't like the fact they would talk about me and say negative things about me You know, especially I noticed when I would come with my hair freshly done, because again, and I'm not saying this stuff to brag about anything. I don't want anyone to get it misconstrued here. I don't want you to, and if you do get it misconstrued, oh well. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can say stuff to people over and over and they still gonna draw their own conclusion just because they don't like you. But I'm saying this stuff because it's factual. It's about what has happened in my life. It is what has contributed to me developing darkism and dark skin activism. So when I would come to school, I would notice that after I had like a fresh perm, because my mom permed my hair at the time, and my hair was like long. I mean, like very long. My mom was very proud of that because she was the type of Black woman that liked long, straight hair. She did not like natural hair. And I, thank God, due to the influence of my father, turn your head this way, Lauren. I'm the opposite. At the age of 18, way before all the YouTube natural hair stuff, I've been having my hair natural for like the longest. Like I mean, my hair is natural. Like, I mean, so I just, because I wanted to be my natural African self. You know, I like my dark skin. My dad put that in me. But anyway, my mom, coming up, my mom, to her, was important for me to have my hair straight and long. Straight and long. That's what my mom wanted. So that's what these haters did not realize. It was not me. It was my mother that was making those decisions at the time. You know, she decided that she wanted to have my hair straight. And I had long perm hair in school, and they did not like me because of that. They would make fun of me and talk about me and call me blacky and ugly and every. Yes, Lauren. What's up? Okay, well, we got to go to the store and get some. So just wait until I'm done with this and we will go, because we ran out. We don't have any. Okay. Yeah, we'll get that for you as well. But you've been excellent, Lauren. She's doing good. I'm up here doing Lauren's hair, sister locks. I'm retightening her sister locks. She wanted me to let y'all know that she's been excellent, because she's still getting used to getting her hair retightened. But what I've been trying to explain to Lauren is, as a sweet little young lady, we are always going to have to get our hair done. So she has to get used to it. So gradually she's working towards getting used to getting her hair done. But back to this chick here, this girl back in middle school. What they didn't understand was that my mom was the one that was making the decision to perm my hair and have it laid and straight. My mom did that. So I would go to school with my hair like, I mean, it was so long, y'all, like long, like how y'all see my hair now, except it was perm. And they were so jealous. They were so jealous. They were so jealous. They were so jealous. And they would talk about me. They would, you know, they couldn't talk about the fact, they couldn't call me bald-headed. They couldn't say I was bald-headed. They couldn't do that, you know. Y'all know how our people do it. They, you know, they'll try to find anything on you. They'll talk about your clothes. You know what I'm saying? They'll talk about your how you smell. They'll talk about, what else will they talk about? They'll talk about they'll try to find anything on you. But see, they couldn't call me bald-headed because I had a head full of hair, and it was my own hair. It was my own. It was not from the horse. It was not from the horse. It was not from the horse. It was my own hair. It was my own hair. So they couldn't talk about that. So they resorted to calling me names like a Blackie, Spot, you know, Crispy, Tar Baby, Monkey, African Booty Scratcher. What else? You know, anything negatively associated with dark skin, and throwing in the skinny part. Because see, for me, you know, it was the skinny, because I used to be like really skinny, you know, and I believe they contributed to my skinniness, because at one point I did not go into the lunchroom. I stopped eating, and I did that in high school and in middle school because people was talking about me, and I got tired of it. I didn't want to sit there and undergo that type of foolishness, so I just stopped going in the lunchroom. And I just, obviously, if you're not eating, you're going to lose weight. So the black and skinny label, the dark and skinny, that was the thing with me. So, but what they couldn't talk about, what they couldn't say, they could not call me bald-headed. They could not, because they was wearing weave. I mean, but them little drawstring ponytails, I didn't have to have a drawstring ponytail. was Lauren. Okay, I'm sorry, Lauren. I did not have to wear the drawstring. I did not have to go to the beauty supply store and buy $5.99 hair. Okay, I didn't have to do that. It was my own hair. What's that? Okay, can you sit up a little bit? There you go. All right. So I didn't have to go and purchase the drawstring ponytails, that that little cheap hair, that they be buying at the beauty supply store. I didn't have to do that. It was all my hair, and they were mad. They were jealous because, like I said, they could talk about my clothes. They could talk about all of that. But what they could not do, you can sit up. You can sit up, Lauren. That's why I told you can get a pillow. You didn't want to get no pillow. You good? But what they could not do is they couldn't come for my hair. They couldn't come for my hair. So, that's how the darkism came in. You know what I'm saying? So I was attacked. Now I realized that I was being attacked for having the audacity to be dark skinned. Sorry about that. I was attacked for having the audacity to have dark skin and long hair. Oh, that was a hell of a combination right there, y'all. That was a hell of a combination. You know what I'm saying? So, when I look, and I'm just here to say that this type of foolishness needs to stop. This type of foolishness needs to stop, because one thing about me, one thing I could say that I prided myself on when I was in school is not picking on people. I never bullied people. I never participated in, the lynch mob syndrome, where people will come for other kids in school, and where these followers, these weak-minded children, they'll jump on the bandwagon and talk about other kids. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was in middle school, I had a sensibility and a compassion for other people. And it's just not something that I was ever interested in doing. I was not interested in talking about you and calling you names because you were dark skinned. I was not interested in talking about you and calling you names if you didn't wear the latest fashions. I was not interested in none of that. What I was interested in is being intelligent and smart and making the honor roll and principals list and participating in track and fields and the drama club and that kind of thing. That's what jogged my interest. And they were angry at me because I wouldn't join them in the foolishness. So they decided to attack me. They decided to attack me when I decided I was not going to join your gang, because that's what it was, your gang of talking about other people and coming for other people and stealing from people and all the stuff that they used to do. They decided that they was going to attack me for being dark skinned and having the audacity to have my own natural long hair. They were mad. They were jealous. They were darkest. That's what I call it in my book, a darkest. They were angry. They were angry. They were angry that I didn't have to go to the beauty supply store and buy the $2.99, the two-piece. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that. I grew my own hair. My mother, she did at least do that much. She, maybe she felt or knew that because I was dark skinned, and I don't know, I'm just making a guess on this. Maybe she knew that I had to have something extra. Because see, that's how it is with our people sometimes, especially when you're in school. You have to have something extra. You got to have something extra to keep these, what she used to say, keep them demons off you. And so maybe she felt that if I had, long hair, nice hair, that I would be able to keep them off of me for being dark skinned. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying. But it didn't work. They came for me even worse. They came for me even worse for having the audacity to be dark skinned with my own natural long hair. That's what it was, y'all. That's what it was. I'm just keeping it 100. People could be upset. They're gonna be upset about this. They could be upset. Yes. Can I come take out the window? I'm gonna take a quick commercial break, y'all. Be right back. Dark skin activist, world's first dark skin activist since 1998, the inventor of dark skin activism. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm just giving Lauren a little break here from doing her hair, but yeah. So yeah, you know, that's what it was with me in school, and I just started thinking back on that. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody that's just joining. You know, I'm looking at someone's question, but where were your parents through all these things you were going through? Well, my mom was only concerned about the church. She's a Pentecostal. For those of you that have listened to my story, A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story, my mom was primarily concerned about church, to the detriment, I will say, of our economics, our economic well-being. That's what she was. So she wasn't really focused on telling me about self-love and self-development. I didn't get that from her. My mom and dad are about 30 years apart. My dad was 53, my mom was 23 when I was conceived. So my dad, by this time, he was an older person, married to someone else, and he tried his best. I will give him credit for that. This is the reason why I have a great love and respect for Black men, because I had a good father. You know, he told me that I was Black and beautiful, but I couldn't be around my father 24/7. And I'm pretty sure that he would not have approved of my mother putting a perm in my hair. But that's what she did. You know, so like I said before, I think my mom's way of, she knew that I may have had to deal with people talking about me because I was dark. So she felt like, okay, let me, you know, it's like there was little things that she would do to let me know that she was concerned about. She didn't say it. Sometimes people ain't got to say stuff. They just do, you know, like talking about the kitchen. When she used to perm or straighten my hair, she would complain about me having a kitchen. Y'all know what a kitchen is? Y'all know what a kitchen is? The kitchen, and that's like the naps, they call it. It was a bad thing. You understand what I'm saying? So she would like show frustration with the naps or the kitchen that she had to get out when she was permanent, when she was straightening my hair. You know what I'm saying? And how thick my hair was. I got a lot of hair on my head, y'all, a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and again, I'm just making an assumption here. I've never, because my mom was not the type of person to really sit down and communicate with me like I do with my own kids, because I feel like we need to be honest and have real communication. So she didn't really talk to me about these things. I just had to go through it on my own. And I could tell that she just did not like, quote unquote, nappy hair or kinky hair, because obviously if you're straightening my hair and you're talking about all the frustration you have with getting it, cleaning up the kitchen, like, really? You know, that's not setting a good example. But I think that it came from her knowing how some African Americans are, especially how vicious they could be in school when you don't have the right look. So that's why I think she said, well, if she's skinny and dark skinned, let me try to make her hair look nice, or perm it, straighten it so it's long. At least they won't be able to say she bald headed. And I will say, I will be honest, they couldn't come for me with the bald head stuff. They couldn't come for me with that. They couldn't. No one in school could ever say that I was bald headed, because I wasn't. I had a head full of hair, and it made a lot of them angry. They talked about me. They can't. And again, folks, I am not the type of person to ever start trouble with people. In fact, I'll try to go the opposite direction. I'm a very peaceful person. I'm very diplomatic, but I'm telling my story. And I know I'm telling my story for a reason, because I know it will help other people that have gone through the same thing, you know. And so it's like, I look back on this and I realize all the trauma that I went through, especially in my middle school and high school years, you know, it came as a result of this whole hair thing, because my hair was actually long, very long, growing up, like 6, 7, 8, all through high school. I had long hair. And like I said, in middle school, they came for me. They came for me. This girl that I was telling y'all about, I'm trying to just go back and forth between looking at y'all comments here. And you know, but this isn't just about me. It just doesn't happen to me, y'all. It happens to other people as well. I'm not the only person. And greetings to everybody that's just tuning in. But yeah, this girl, this non-dark-skinned Black girl, if you're just tuning in, this is what I'm talking about. She walked up to me one day out of the blue, hugged me and said, I want you to be my cousin. And like I said, I had observed that this girl was causing a lot of problems and I didn't want to have anything to do with her. So I did not argue with her. I just kind of gave her a look and, you know, kept it moving. And she did not like that. She did not like that. So from after that exchange to where I just wasn't going to join your bandwagon. I wasn't going to be a part of your clique because I don't do cliques. I'm not a cliquish type person. I respect people. I've never done cliques. So they came for me talking about, and at the time, I didn't like my name Rashida. I didn't like Rashida. So I used to have everybody call me Maria by my middle name because I felt that it was more, it would keep the attention off of me. But so they started talking about Maria, this black, ugly girl in school. And she was one of the ringleaders that had people talking bad about me. And, you know, people would, you know, all the black and ugly would always be thrown in there because, again, they could not come for me on the strength of me being bald headed. They couldn't come for me. And it made them angry that they couldn't come for me because that's the big thing with a lot of black women and black girls. It's about the hair. You understand what I'm saying? They couldn't come for me on the basis of being a bald headed, ratchet, whatever. They couldn't. So they had to attack me based on skin tone and the low level of body fat that I had. So they had to attack me, but mostly on the skin tone. So I was too black. You know, they would talk about Maria this, you know, so subsequently this crazy chick, somebody said, hi, Maria. Yeah, so this crazy chick, so one day she attacks me. She attacks me, y'all. Yes, she attacks me. After all this harassment that I was going through, I would not join up with their clique. I was, you know, they were attacking other people. Like I said, they were stealing from people. This chick wound up in going to prison. You know, she was just a terrible human being. She's a terrible person. She's a terrible person. And again, I'm not happy that she wound up going to prison and getting in trouble, but I'm glad that I stayed away from her. I'm glad that I had the common sense to stay away from her because I would have wound up in the same boat as she. And I did. I remember I saw her at the bus stop. This was probably like, I think we were probably around maybe like 20 or something like that. And she was looking a hot mess. She was looking a hot mess. Her body was looking a hot mess because apparently she had had babies early on. And she still thought that she had her baby body. And she was walking around with this half top on, y'all. Yeah. And she was just looking a hot mess. About me then, 20 years old. 20 years old. And I just looked at her. I didn't say anything. I just looked and kept it moving. Just don't touch me. Don't touch me. That's the only thing. Say what you want. It's your mouth, free speech. But don't touch me. She already knew. She understood that part clearly from, you know, I'm just going to say from our middle school days. She understood that part clearly. Say what you want, but don't touch me. Keep your hands off the dark-skinned activists. I look too good, skin too smooth, teeth too white. Don't touch. Look, but don't touch. Talk, but don't touch. She understood that clearly. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Yeah. But I saw her. Yeah, it is sad, y'all. I saw her at the bus stop looking a hot, wretched, ghetto mess. Drawstring ponytail, I think she had, or something, some type of wild, ignorant hairstyle she had in her hair. It wasn't her hair. It was, you know, belonged to the horses. But anyway, I didn't say anything to her. I just saw her. I just looked pathetic. She was looking pathetic. Like I said, bad bodied, just horrible looking. Obviously, I could tell that she wasn't concerned about keeping herself in shape. Obviously, she wasn't concerned with eating fruits and vegetables, the power of fruits and vegetables. Obviously, she wasn't concerned with drinking water. She was on the ghetto grape sodas and the ghetto, I don't know what they be drinking, pineapple sodas and all that ignorant stuff that they sell at the corner stores. which by the way, I'm too good for. I try to avoid corner stores whenever possible because I don't want anything to do with the ignorance that belies corner stores. I don't, I try. Sometimes I do go there if it's absolutely necessary, but I try not to go there because I'm too good for that. I don't want any parts in the ghetto corner stores. And I encourage you not to, if you can. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it 100. Stay away from. But I saw this hot ghetto mess, this piece of wretched ignorance that tried to get me caught up in her foolishness back in middle school in the 6th grade. She was jealous of me because I had the nerve to have dark skin combined with long hair. Long hair don't care. But what they didn't realize, it was my mother. I had my mother to thank for that, because I wasn't, obviously, and you in the 6th grade, everybody don't rule and control their moms in the 6th grade. And obviously they were ruling and controlling their mom. Their mom did not have any control over their behavior, which is why she ended up going to prison, and ended up becoming ignorant. I'm just telling you guys what the experience is, what my experience is with people that were hating on me for being dark skinned, for having the audacity to be dark skinned with long hair. And like I said, when they couldn't attack me for being bald headed and dark skinned, they attacked me for being dark skinned. So, she was one of the ringleaders with the black and ugly jokes. The Spot and Blackie, Tar Baby, Monkey Mouth, Crispy. I've heard it all. I've been called every name in the book for being dark skinned. Like, it's nothing that people can say. Like, people come onto social media and call me names like, okay, and next, give me something new. Think of something new, because I've been called all these names already from my dark skinned attackers and hecklers way back in the 6th grade. So this is nothing for me. It's nothing for me. Commercial break. All right, y'all. Bless his little heart. Raheem, he bought this little olive oil when he was here, and I'm just making Lauren some food Just when it decided to go cook some food for her. It's cooking right now, Lauren. Because sometimes it may be a little bit too difficult for you to open. She has this little lunchbox that I bought her. Is she pulling it out and it's kind of like hard to open, so I stopped using it.
Baby, I just wanted to use it all the time.
Okay. So anyway, y'all, yeah. So for those of you that are just tuning in, I'm talking about. I may do that. We'll see what happens. I'm just talking about the people back in middle school, and I'm talking about primarily these. I'm on the women now. I'm not even talking. Y'all know I come for the men and critique them in terms of speaking on their contribution to darkism in my life. Today, I'm speaking because I was doing my daughter's hair, retightening her sister locks, and it just triggered that whole thing. You know, the black girls with the wanting long hair, and it just triggered the whole thing about my going back to my middle school days when I was attacked by my own sisters for having the audacity to be dark skinned with long perm hair. And like I said, they couldn't come for me for being bald headed, because if you bald headed, oh my God, if you do not have hair, see, that's the thing. That's the thing with our people. We will find something. We will find something. We will find anything to try to tear another person down. We will find anything. And like I said, they couldn't come for me for being bald headed. They couldn't come for that. And the chick was mad because I would not join her little crew. Why would I join you in harassing other people and starting fights with people? That's not what I'm about. I've never been about that. You understand what I'm saying? I've always been able to use this and this and this. I don't need to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to even go into that part right now. I'm not. She had to get put in her place though, eventually, because it's only so much ignoring that you could do. And I did that for a long time to harass me. I mean, this chick was so bad, y'all. She was so bad with the harassment, you know, because she was angry that I wouldn't join her crew. She felt like she should have been the leader. You're not going to lead me. I don't play that. You're not going to, especially somebody that's engaged in foolishness. And over the past couple of days, I have had non-dark skinned black women coming into my inbox trying to start mess. Some of them are very messy. That's what they've done. And I've told them, I said, look, if you take issue, and I'm saying this again to go on record, because the other day I had this one chick, and she knows who she is. She might be watching this video right now. She came to my inbox, and I had looked onto her page and someone else's page who had sent me a friend request, because I kept getting all these weird friend requests, and I saw that they had made a negative posting about me. And there were other people that were on there that were speaking negatively about me. And so my thing is this: go ahead and say whatever you want, because you have your right to your freedom of speech. So when they inboxed me, or when they sent me a friend request, I said to them, I said, basically asking them, what is the nature of the friend request? Trying to get to the point of what they wanted. And I let them know, after I pretty much pulled this woman's cards in a very respectful, intellectual way, she went back on to this other posting and shared the conversation that she and I had, which I didn't care, because I knew that I was cordial and respectful, and I called you out and let you know I know what you're doing. So she went back on and she shared it and tried to start some mess. And I let them know, look, if you could take issue with whatever I say, I don't have a problem with that. But here's what you need to do: be man enough, be woman enough to come onto this camera. Y'all see I'm showing my face. I'm sure I always show my face. I got no problem showing my face. I said, be man enough or woman enough to come on to YouTube Live and let's talk about my views. I'll answer any question that anyone has. Talk about my views, but don't come in my inbox being sneaky and conniving and sly and vicious. It took me back to what this chick did, the one that was jealous of me and had the audacity to hate on me for being dark skinned with long hair. It's not my fault that this chick was bald headed. It wasn't my fault. Maybe if she would have took care of her hair better, I don't know what the deal was. It wasn't my fault, because I had natural hair for a long time. My mother, who did not like natural hair, I will give her credit, she did take care of my hair, but it wasn't my fault that you didn't know how to take care of your hair. So for you to come for me and be mad at me because I'm dark skinned with long hair, that's your problem. So the thing is, going back to these trolls that were coming into my inbox on Facebook. It was a dude, black female, non-dark skinned black female, and I believe the dude was dark skinned. They just on their post just talk about me going off like you don't even know me. I gave them the opportunity to come on to YouTube Live and discuss my views because they're always lying. This is what they do when they know that you're right and you're telling the truth. They always lie on me. They try to say, oh, you don't like light-skinned people. Where have you ever seen me say, you better see, that's the thing with people. You better come to me with some evidence and some proof. And I mean solid evidence and proof. If you can't do that, then you just leave. Just don't even talk to me because I'm not going to deal with no lies and no liar. I'm not going to deal with that. So they try to say, when they can't refute what I'm saying about darkism and dark skin discrimination, they say, oh, she doesn't like light-skinned black people. That's what they do. That's the lie that they tell. It's a big lie because all of my followers, the true ones, know that I talk about my light-skinned best friend, Shamina, and her mother. God rest her soul, Vita. She was super light-skinned, and I love this woman because she helped me. She was there for me. This woman was one of the sweetest people I ever met in my life, super light-skinned. I would have done she know that, do anything in the world for her. Shamina to this day, I'd do anything in the world for Shamina. Whatever I got, she got. Light-skinned, very light-skinned, okay? And me and this girl, we've been friends. Me and Shamina, oh, I'm saying her name. Oh my God, I didn't mean to say her name, but I don't think she's mine. But we've been friends for forever. I love her to death. So these people, what they're saying is not true. So here's the thing: when they can't refute me in regards to the facts, they lie. They lie and they harass. They try to stalk. You know, they come to my inbox with foolishness. But I called this chick and the dude on their foolishness, and then they go back and repost some lies, and but whatever. The truth will always trump everything else. Everything else. That's what I have found in my existence on this earth. So that's why I deal with the truth. I'm not scared to come on and show my face. Hold on, y'all. Oh, it's very disgusting, JB back. It's very disgusting. It's very, trust me. That's why I continue to speak on it. I continue to speak on it. I'm not going to stop speaking on what has happened to me in regards to darkism and dark skin discrimination, but like I said, what it was at the time, they was just mad and angry. They were mad and angry that I had the audacity to have dark skin and long hair. That's what it was. And they were super angry that I wasn't going to be, some of these people, they want you to, when you dark skin sometimes, and I'm not saying that all dark-skinned people are innocent, because some of these dark-skinned kids, sometimes they are the ringleaders. They cause the problems. And it all needs to stop. It all needs to stop. Let me be real super clear about that. I don't condone anybody bullying and harassing anybody. I don't condone it. I don't condone it. But sometimes they want you to, my mama used to say, and she was right, sometimes they want you, when they feel like they could target you, especially on things like skin tone, they want you to be their little flunky. My mama call it flunky. I wasn't gonna be nobody's flunky. Because if I would have wound up dealing with this girl, I would have been in a world of trouble, a whole mess of trouble. I would have wound up going to jail just like she did, for all these ignorant crimes that she committed. I would have, that's why it's not good to be a follower. That's why it's not good to follow up with people and their foolishness. Let it go. Let it go. And I encourage, young people, children that are in school, K through 12, and even beyond, don't follow up with these people. If you see somebody picking on somebody because they don't got the right clothes, the right hair, calling people four eyes. I forgot I was called that too. Picking at people for things that they could, don't follow up with that foolishness. Don't be a follower. Don't be. The worst thing in the world is to be a follower of foolishness. Don't be a follower. You be a leader for what's right. And I pride myself on that, because when I was in school, I never joined gangs of people picking on other people. I never have done that, and I never will do that. And if I see a group of people that's doing that, a group of women that want to just gossip and talk about people and talk about, oh, she this, I don't do that. I don't do that. I said, I have people in my family, they do that. I'm not going to join you and talk about other people like that, because I don't know what that person is going through in their life. And they didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know that we was, you know, grew up going through poverty and unstableness. They didn't, nor did they care. But even at a young age, I had that sensibility towards people, and I still do to this day. I'm not going to sit up here and talk about you for no reason. You have to like do something to me in order for me to, and even still, I'll say, okay, if you're not continuously bringing in my face, I can know how to push stuff to the side and keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be a follower and joining these people because you see somebody talking about somebody because they dark skinned, or talking about somebody because, you know what I'm saying? You know, don't join that foolishness. Yeah, they have a Avery. It's so many cliques in high school and middle school. It's just so wrong. It causes these kids a lot of pain and suffering. You know what I'm saying? It causes, it's just, y'all, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. I'm going to throw in my link here again on the live stream, asking everyone to go ahead and donate to the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign. I just put the link there. If you donate in any amount, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get an electronic copy of A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. And this is a very good book. So donate in any amount and you're going to get the book, the electronic version of the book. Now, if you want to get a paperback copy of the book autographed, all you have to do is, I'm going to put that link in there again. You guys could go to this link right here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put it in there. It's 25 bucks. Not yet. It's still cooking, but just give me a second. I'm a multitasker, y'all. But anyway, all you got to do is go to this link right here. And the book is $25. You'll get an autographed copy of the book. So I'm encouraging you guys to support my work, support what I've been doing since 1998. This is not something that's just new for me, just hopping on the internet. I've been doing this work, the work of dark skin activism, since 1998. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm never, ever, ever going to stop. You guys can always count on that. The book is $25, once again, for an autographed copy. And oh my God, I'm just reading some of y'all comments. There we go. There's the link right there, y'all. But yeah, y'all, you know, it's just, oh yeah, Joe, I went through, I'm glad you read the book. I'm so happy that you read the book. 39, to answer your question, JB back. But yeah, I've been through so much stuff in my life, and I get triggered at points. And whenever I get triggered, you know, like I said, it triggered me when I was sitting here retightening my daughter's hair and thinking about the long term and how she's gonna feel in the long term. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much for that person that just donated that $20. Thank you so much. As soon as I get off this live stream, I will be sending you your electronic copy of A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. Oh, thank you, Avery. That was you that donated that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You've been supporting. Like, thank you to everybody. But the thing is, I have triggers, y'all. To this day, I call it dark skin mental abuse. I wrote an article called Dark Skin Mental Abuse. I'm going to put that in the link as well. I highly recommend you guys go and read it, because it will explain to you why I do dark skin activism. There are so many reasons why I'm engaged in the work of dark skin activism. So many reasons. But these triggers, they come along, and I hate the fact that when I be trying to post the article, my computer runs so slow whenever I'm doing a live YouTube. It runs so slow, y'all. It is like the most annoying thing ever, but we're going to get this done. I am determined. I've been determined for so long, and I'm going to continue to be determined to get it, to handle it and get it done, because that's all I know how to do. You understand? But there's some things I just get triggered. And I was just sitting here doing my daughter's hair, retightening her hair, and thinking about what is she going to face with this whole long hair thing, and the relationship between long hair And dark skin. Hold on, Lauren.
And when Mommy was doing my hair, I didn't do it.
You did an excellent job, because she does not like to get her hair retightened, and I have to like talk to her and talk her through it, and let her know, Lauren, this is a part of being a girl. You have to get your hair done. So she's gradually growing into it. I know you don't. I know. And I try to be as gentle as possible. I give her multiple breaks. Like now she's getting a break. She has her tablet. But this whole thing of just, you know, and I have someone also that recently, oh my God, that's a whole nother topic, that cut her hair. They call themselves trimming her hair, but it's like, leave my daughter's hair alone. Don't touch her hair. I know what I'm doing. I went to school for sister locks back in 2004. I went all the way out to Detroit at the time. That's where they were having the class at. And I remember, I don't know, understand why sometimes women can be so vicious and cruel to each other. I don't get it. I don't understand sometimes how women can subject each other to just the meanness of it all. And I remember when I took this class, there was a beautiful dark-skinned woman that was teaching the class. She was very beautiful. She was very nice. And I had sister locks at that time. And this one lady, she was just so mean. I don't know why she was so mean to me. It's like she walked around to all the women in the class and was just like going on and on about their hair. And she made it her business not to come and say anything to me. She made it her business. Like, and I noticed it. I didn't say anything. See, a lot of times I don't say nothing to people. I just let people do to do, you know, because I'm not here to be causing issues and conflicts. That's not what I've ever been about. But I am here to tell the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to speak my truth. I will never, ever, ever stop speaking on what I have been through. I will never stop speaking on the impact of darkism on my life. I will never stop talking about it. I'm going to keep talking about it. And the people that have an issue with it are the people that are inflicting darkism onto other people. They're the problem, but they don't want you to talk about it. Like, okay, all right, I see y'all. I'm gonna put the article Darkism. I'm gonna put it right here, y'all. Please click that link. That's the article Darkism that I wrote back in 2014. Because y'all know I've been a dark skin activist since 1998. I've been doing dark skin activism, and I need y'all to hold on. I'm gonna take a real quick commercial break here. Commercial break. I'll be right back. Yeah, y'all, I'm back. I got my Starbucks coffee today. But yeah, see, they didn't expect for me being, dark skin. This goes along with a lot of females. I don't know. Some people just don't want to admit it, but they didn't expect me to walk up in there with my hair all down and laid, you know what I'm saying, to the side like my mom used to have it. They didn't expect that. They didn't expect for me to walk off the school bus, you know what I'm saying, with that long hair. And I will say, shout out to some of the black boys there at that school at the time. I think the only reason they liked me because I had long hair. Because if I was bald headed and dark skinned and skinny, they would have been going into, and some of them still went in. Some of them still went in on me. But having the long hair, it helped out a lot. It helped out a lot. But they felt like they would I thought that I was better than them, or because I had my hair done. Because I noticed, like I said, how they would get all cliquish and how they would treat me after I had a fresh perm, and it was obvious that I had a fresh perm. I'm just messing around with the lighting now, y'all. Oh, y'all can't see me. Just messing around with the lighting here. But I would notice how when I would come to school with a fresh perm, and it was just laid, y'all. It was laid at the time. It was laid, you know what I'm saying? All flowing down my black back, walking and the wind blowing it at P, the wind blowing it, you know what I'm saying? I would notice how they would treat me. And this chick that I was talking about, she was like the ringleader of it. She was the ringleader. And it just got to a point where I just, got tired of it, and I would ignore it. I would not say anything. I just, as long as you don't, like I said, I got my only rule, just don't touch. Just don't touch me. Say whatever you want, but don't touch me. Don't touch me. That's my only rule. I don't care what people say about me, because people are going to talk about you. You cannot stop people from talking about you. But don't touch me. That's where you cross the line. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. I've always been that type of person. I could take a lot. My best friend even know. She know. Me. Oh, I gotta tell y'all about that. That's a whole nother story. My light skinned best friend. Oh my God. That's a whole nother story. Huh? Yeah, so go eat your food and then we'll see what's going on later. But yeah, yeah, I'm just looking at some of y'all comments here. Yeah, they would talk about me real bad, and I would be looking at myself like, how sometimes people would talk about you and you'd be like, what's wrong with, you looking at yourself like, what's wrong with me? I would think that there was something wrong with me. That's why I think that I developed a complex over time in terms of dark skin mental abuse. That's why I talk about this so much, because it's therapeutic to me, and I admit it. Yep, it's therapeutic. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate it. So, they would talk about me so bad and, say all this stuff, and I was just ostracized and talked about, and it was just really bad, and I felt so bad. And that's why I would never, even at that age, being in the 6th grade, middle school, I would never join up on anybody inflicting that type of harm and pain to cause somebody emotional pain like that. I would never do that. It's karma. Okay, karma. I believe in karma. So and it just came to a head. It came to a head one day, y'all. One day on the where we was at, the bus circle. We was at the bus circle getting ready to go home. No, it was lunch. That's what it was. We was out there to lunch. You know how when y'all at most middle schools, after lunch, everybody congregates in a certain spot. So the spot where we congregated after lunch was out there by, like, how can I describe it? Like the bus circle where you get ready to leave for the buses, and oh my God, woohoo! I just told you my cardinal rule: say what you want, don't touch me. Do not put your hands on me. Lord have mercy. This individual made the mistake, and that was it. That was it, y'all. All hell broke loose. That was it. All hell broke loose. That was the grave mistake. That was the mistake. That was the mistake of the century. That's the way that one of the people that knows me to this day, he phrased it, the blank of the century. That was it. That was it. Don't you put your hands on me. Don't do that. Because I could take a lot. And I have taken a lot. I've taken a lot from people. They talk, they say what they want, but don't put your hands on me. That was the mistake. After lunch, I remember it like it was yesterday. Minding my business. Don't put your hands on me though. You do that. You do that. That's it. That's it. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. That was it, y'all. I'm not gonna even go into all. I'm just gonna say, that was a mistake. That was like the biggest mistake of all times. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just encouraging people. Just, you know, tell your kids, don't be talking about people because they dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out here having your kids calling people black and saying you black and all that foolishness right there. I mean, they are black, obviously, but I mean, you know what I mean. Don't be out here telling your kid, encouraging this. For some of these parents, they be actually laughing and encouraging this foolishness. They do. You need to encourage your kids to not engage in this type of foolishness. Don't do it. Because you might, you know, run up on the wrong person with this foolishness. And it might not turn out nicely. And it's just wrong. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's just wrong for people to be picking on people over stuff that they have no control over. In this case, we're talking about dark skin. It's just wrong. It's just wrong, y'all. It's just wrong. And you know, it affects me to this day. That's why I'm engaged in dark skin activism, because you know, I'm out here trying to stop this type of foolishness. You know, I'm trying to stop people. Yes, I do. I'm just reading some comments. Someone just asked if I think that dark-skinned men are the victims of this. Absolutely. And I have spoke about this before. I have spoke about seeing people attack a dark-skinned man because they're dark-skinned, calling them, saying, oh, you black and all this kind of, you know, I've heard this. And I've actually been a part of stopping this stuff. I've always been a part of the solution. You know, so yes, dark-skinned men it's not just dark-skinned women, it's dark-skinned men as well. It is not acceptable. It's not acceptable behavior. It's just not. Would you want your children to go to school? Think about that. Every day, this child is growing up every day. They might be coming from an impoverished home. They already got to deal with poverty. Okay. They already have to deal with poverty and home problems, and then they go to school and have to face people picking at them because of their skin. Like, that's insane. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. You need to sit down and have a talk with your kids. You know, you need not to think it's cute, because it's not cute. Some of these parents, they're just, oh my God. They're terrible. They sit up there and they think, I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna make a whole video, a whole nother live stream about this one person. I never forget that when this one chick, her mother was pretty much condoning her behavior. She thought that it was okay for her child to go around bullying and harassing people, calling them names, calling them out their names for, you know, for being, I mean, oh my God. I've had so much of this happen in my life, y'all. I would be here all night talking to y'all. That's a whole nother live stream that I may come on here and tell y'all about this person. This person did happen to be non-dark skinned, black female that caused a whole lot of problems in the neighborhood. And again, I'm not saying that dark-skinned people or children were not causing problems as well, because I know of some that were also causing problems. But for me in my life, I'm telling you guys about what I went through, my experience. And this person here happened to be a non-dark skinned Black female. Oh my God, help me, Jesus. I'm gonna have to, that's a whole nother live stream right there. But just back on the topic of this, you know, this person at school, she just was just so terrible. She was so terrible, just so completely terrible in what she was doing. And I remember how she tried to antagonize me even as we got older. And I thought that this person would have matured once we got out of school, but she wasn't mature. She was still on her superiority, because she thought she was better. She did. Oh yeah, her actions told me that she thought that she was better. And I remember how when she saw me, like I was telling y'all at the bus stop, we were about 20 years old, and you know, she had the nerve. She was sitting there with a group of girls and started talking about me when I walked past. I will never forget it. But she knew not to touch, because she already understood that from, you know, the after lunch episode when I just had enough. She knew to talk but not touch. But we were at the bus stop that day, and she just was like, I was like, you know, she was talking about me, and I was, you know, I think back on it, and I was just so cute, looking good, nice and slim. You know, I was like, how could you sit there and talk about me when, you know, you clearly had been through something at the age of 20. You know, your body and your face showed it. You walking around with the $5.99 drawstring ponytail. I had my own hair even then, and you talking about me like I didn't even say nothing to her, because she wasn't worth my time. I just walked on the other side of the. I think I must have been going to school, catching the bus to school. I was going to St. Pete College at the time. I was a undergraduate student, and this woman, at the age of 20 something, we must have been about 20 at the time, you still on this ignorance. You're still carrying on this foolishness. And it didn't get you anywhere but the Florida State Prison. That's where you ended up at. So, you know, you just have to ignore some of these people in their ignorance, because they never learn, they never grow out of it. You know, I wasn't about to engage her. You want to walk away. That's what you do. You disengage, because I wasn't giving it back to her. I was not going to give it back. I already gave it to you in middle school. I gave it to you. I gave it to you in middle school already. I wasn't going to give it back to you as an adult woman. I had to let it go. So what I did was I walked on the other side. This is at Central Plaza in St. Petersburg. I walked on the other side because I said, I'm not gonna give it to this ignorant woman. You know, I wasn't gonna give it to you. You know, you could talk about me all you want to your friends and tell me she was over there telling her friends how I was black and ugly, and how she went to school with me and I was a black and ugly. You know what? I mean, she was over there just still hadn't got enough, still hadn't learned her lesson. Yeah, I will never forget it. These are my experiences. The dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, the world's first dark-skinned activist. Rashida Strober, the inventor of dark-skinned activism. Let's get that clear. Let's get that. I've been doing this way before the internet. I mean, I got a lot of clones, but it's okay. I'm the innovator. I'm the original. It's just the truth. Gotta be honest. Y'all know I always keep it 100%, 1,000,000% real with y'all. You know, but you know, these things, they're in my head. They're permanently, as a result of dark-skinned mental abuse, they're permanently in my head. They live with me, and I speak on it because I know that I'm helping other people. And that's what I like to do most. I love to help people. I love helping y'all. I'm sold out of my book, How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet, but I highly recommend y'all go and get that book. I ordered some more copies. Shout out to the person that bought the last copy. If you want to get a paperback version of How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet, signed autograph copy, all you got to do, and I'm going to put the link in the chat box. All you got to do is click that link. The book is $25, and I'll send you an autograph copy of that book. It is the first motivational book in the world ever for dark-skinned women and girls. Order that book. Also, I have my groundbreaking books right here. Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Get this book. It will change your life. It is the unadulterated truth, right? I'm telling y'all the truth. Also, get A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. They're $25 a piece. It goes towards the Dark Skin Activist Tour. Y'all know I'm fresh off of the first stop, which was Tucson, Arizona. Back on March 18th, I did a show there, which was just phenomenal. Shout out to Kim. Shout out to Olasanya. Shout out to everybody that donated and made that show happen. Thank you. But get the book. Also, if you donate, and I'm going to put the link there in the chat box as well. If you donate to the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign, I will send you an electronic copy of my book. We will soon. Yes, ma'am. I will send you guys an electronic copy of my book, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, if you donate in any amount. So go ahead and click that button and go ahead and donate. And y'all know I'll get that book out to you ASAP. ASAP. I'm pretty fast. A woman of my word, because my word is my bond. It's very important to me. I'm also going to go ahead and throw in the chat box my article. We do? Hold on one second. I'm going to throw in my article, Dark Skin Mental Abuse. So I want you guys to go ahead and read that article. I just put up the link there. Okay, give me a second, Lauren. Okay, that's a good thing, Brittany. I totally agree with you on that. And that's the reason why Brittany, she says, let me just read what you're saying. Rashida, you should talk about the discrimination that dark-skinned girls with features that aren't commonly associated with dark skin go through. I totally agree with you. One of the things too, I want to say, and I get hateration or darkism going on in my family in regards to my nose. In regards to my nose. Yeah. If I don't know, this camera doesn't really show the intricacies of my nose really good. But people have said that I have a quote unquote white person's nose because my nose is a bit pointy. If you see it in person, it's not typical of an African-American nose. And in my family, I don't know, it's like a schizophrenic type thing. My aunt will talk about, and this is a whole nother live stream in and of itself. It's not raining outside, Lauren. My aunt will say, oh, she'll brag about, and she's saying she's not bragging, but she is. Having Indian, her grandmother is Indian, and this is no disrespect, okay? It is what it is. But then my features and my family have been looked at as being ugly. But I look at my grandmother, great-grandmother, who is an Indian, full-blooded, because that's what they go on and on about. And they say that she's beautiful, and we have similar features. So how could she be beautiful and I ugly? It doesn't make any sense. I talk about this again in my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. So yes, absolutely. That's a whole nother, but I just had to get this off my chest because I just started thinking back to this chick, this girl, this woman back in middle school today as I was doing Lauren's hair and this whole long hair thing with dark-skinned girls and how people feel like you are not supposed to. That just really just bothers me. Like you are not supposed to have long hair when you are dark-skinned. Oh my goodness, this girl, let's show them your hair, Lauren. Let's show them. I'm gonna show y'all. Turn around, Lauren. You gotta turn around. I'm showing you guys. Turn around. Turn around. These are her sister locks. I'm retightening her sister locks, as you guys can see that. Yeah. And oh my goodness, the devil is a liar because I've encountered some little things along the way. Lauren, she loves messing around with my lipstick. You gotta leave my stuff alone. I done told you a little behind about messing with my lipstick, girl. I have told this little girl about messing with my stop. I have told this little child about messing with my lipstick. But her hair, as you can see, if you take care, Lauren, come here. If you take care of the sister locks and you have to keep you know, babying them and making sure they're done. And I spend like a lot of time on her hair because it's very important to me, you know. And it just, like I said, it just triggered all these things that I experienced and had to go through growing up. And it's like, y'all, it's just, you know, yeah. Yeah. I just want to thank y'all for taking the time to tune in today to this live stream. I know I've been on here talking. I want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen to what I have to say about this traumatic experience that I went through back in middle school with these haters that were hating on me because I had the audacity to be dark skinned with long hair at the time, natural hair, permed hair it was, but it was my hair that I grew out of my own head. It was not horse hair. It wasn't fake. It was my hair. But they were jealous and they were envious and they wanted to fight me and cause problems for me and all this kind of stuff. And I just want to end on this note that, you know, I encourage, you know, children not to do this to each other. I encourage you to not hate on or be, everybody has a special gift that God has given them. You do not have to be jealous or hate on anybody for anything. And I know that we sometimes make it hard and difficult for each other. Yes. Hold on, y'all. All right, you guys. So, yeah, so what I wanted to say, because I got to get out of here. I'm going to continue to finish doing Lauren's hair, retightening her hair and some other things. But like I said, I just want to encourage you not to make fun of people because they're dark skinned and not to assume that a dark skinned woman cannot grow out long hair. I mean, that's really what I want to say. Like, we can grow out long hair just like anybody else. We're entitled to have long hair if we want to, just like anybody else. And, you know, just all the hate and all the jealousy and all the miserableness and all the darkism, I just wanted to stop. I really wanted to stop. That's why I'm engaged in this work. I'm going to keep being engaged in the work. I'm going to keep calling it out, because at the end of the day, it's about changing lives. It's about seeing a real change in people. It's about not carrying this foolishness on to the next generation, which is what I have seen. And that's why I continue to do the work that I do. And once again, I want to thank you guys for watching this live stream today. And if I feel the need, if the spirit hits me and I have time to come back on here and talk to y'all again, I will. Y'all know I will. And I want to encourage you guys, once again, I'm going to throw that link up in there. Go to the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign and donate. Anyone that donates will get a copy, an electronic copy of my book, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. And if you want to get a paperback autographed copy of A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, or Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, or How to Be the Hottest Dark Skinned Chick on the Planet, I want to encourage you guys to go ahead and click this link right here. There we go. That's the direct PayPal link right there. And I'll make sure I get that book out to you ASAP. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, the dark skinned activist Rashida Strober, inventing dark skin way back in 1998. Your favorite dark skinned chick, continuing the work of dark skin activism. about to go in here and finish working on Lauren's wonderful, beautiful, lovely sister locks that I'm working so hard to maintain and grow it out so she will have beautiful, long hair, pretty long hair as a dark-skinned girl, because that's what she wants, and I'm here to make that happen. All right, y'all. Y'all know I love to talk. Sometimes I have a hard time leaving because I'm talking. The world's first dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober. Your favorite dark-skinned chick is signing out. Peace.